Hi, it's Divyajyoti Mahapatra. Welcome to my channel DJM Physics. Hello students, today's topic is electromotive force or EMF. Before coming to this topic, let me tell you one thing. You can do it at your home also or in your lab. Take a 1.5 volt battery. Okay, it is very easily available in the market. Okay, 1.5 volt battery that we are talking normally tell as pencil battery or a wall clock battery. Okay, if it is written 1.5 volt and it is a completely new one, not at all used one, and you take a voltmeter and use it with the terminals of the battery. Okay, it is negative terminal, it is positive terminal. You connect it with a voltmeter and measure it. In the voltmeter, you can never get a reading of 1.5. You may get a reading of 1.41, 1.42 or something like that, or but somewhat less. Obviously, you cannot get more 1.5 or more than that. You will obviously get somewhat. It may be very small or very small decrease, but obviously the voltmeter reading will be decreased one. Okay, however correct voltmeter you take, okay, and however new battery you may take, the reading cannot be greater than or equal to 1.5. It will obviously less than that. Now then, if it is showing 1.41 or 1.42, then why on the battery it is written 1.5? So is it a mistake in the manufacturer side, or it is some mistake we are doing here, or the knowledge that we know that it will show 1.5, that thing is wrong? Let us check. Okay, so to understand this process, we have to understand this circuit, and we have to compare the water circuit with the electric circuit. This is a water circuit where water is moving from this point to this point, then from B to C, then again from C to D point, D to E point, like this. Okay, when water will come from this tank to this tank, it can flow easily. However resistance you may provide, it is a resistance, kind of resistance. I have explained this. In a water circuit, if the width of the width of the pipe suddenly decreases, it means it is providing the resistance to the flow of the water. So this is kind of resistance. So however resistance you may provide here, okay, the water can flow from here to here, from the second tank to the first tank. This is the second water tank, okay, and this is the first water tank. Why it is flowing like that? Because the pressure at this point and the pressure at this point is, there is a difference between that. Here the pressure is higher and here the pressure is low. Hence water always flows from higher pressure to lower pressure. So the water is flowing from here to here without any external force or without any external energy. Okay, but and water is flowing here from higher potential to lower potential. That flow will be spontaneous, it will be automatical. But water cannot come from here to here automatic. If I want a steady flow in the water circuit or a continuous flow in the water circuit, I have to take the water from here to here also. Otherwise, after some time, the water will finish from here, and the water from here to here, water cannot flow spontaneously. Why? Because the pressure at this point will be more and the pressure at this point will be less. This point pressure will be more and here the pressure will be less, and water cannot move from less water pressure to higher pressure automatically or spontaneously. It means you have to use a pump which can create a pressure difference between these 2 points. Okay, here it will create a higher pressure and here it will create a lower pressure. It will create a pressure difference. Due to that, the water will move from here to here. Once the water came from here to here, then after that the flow will be spontaneous. So what is this pump doing here? This pump is taking the water from a lower potential to a higher potential, or from a low height to a higher height, because this flow cannot be spontaneous. Okay, so pump is actually doing some external work here to maintain the flow of the water in the water circuit. In the exact similar way, the electric circuit also work. And here, this flow of water can be compared with the current. This narrowing of the water pipe can be comparing with the resistance, and the water pump can be compared with the battery. See, when the current is flowing here, the current can, the charges can flow from here to here. Here charges means I am talking about positive charge. When you actually go to the mechanism of the flow, you will understand that the electron is actually coming from here to here, but I am not going to study it in that way. Let us tell it in this way, that if current is flowing from here to here, some positive charges is flowing from here to here. But again, let me remind you that there is no flow of positive charge is actually there in a metal flow due to the flow of current, but we will understand it in this way. So the charge will flow from here to here, okay, spontaneously, but from here to here the flow cannot be spontaneous, because here it is at lower potential and here it is at higher potential. Remember that battery potential difference you are showing means the positive end is at higher potential and the negative end is at lower potential. There is nothing positive negative in a battery is actually. Why we are talking it as positive? Because this plate has higher potential and this plate has lower potential. So when you connect a battery, there is a potential difference created. So the current flows from plus point to minus point, higher potential to lower potential spontaneously. But here, from here to here, it cannot come automatically or spontaneously. You have to do some work to take the charges from lower to higher potential. Is it clear? So it is doing the same type of work as the pump was doing. Okay, pump was also doing the same thing, taking the water from lower to higher potential. Here the battery is taking the charges from lower to higher potential. Okay, and if you remove the battery, there is no flow of current, because if you remove the pump from here, there is no flow of water in the circuit, because that pressure difference will not be created now. So this battery is there to help the current flow through the circuit steadily, okay, or continuously. Now let us understand what is the difference between then potential difference and EMF. See, potential difference can be between any 2 points. Like in this circuit, in this water circuit, when the water is flowing, I can tell that there is a potential difference, there is a pressure difference between these 2 points. There is a pressure difference between these 2 points. There is also a pressure difference between these 2 points. So between any 2 points, there is a pressure difference between these 2 points. So between any 2 points you take, you will find a pressure difference in the circuit. Exactly in the same way, you take this point and this point, you will get a potential difference there, let it is V1. You take this point and this point, you will again get a potential difference here, let it is V2. Similarly, between these 2 points, between the terminals of the battery also you will get a potential difference, let that potential difference is V dash. So between any 2 points you will get the potential difference in the circuit. But EMF, what is EMF? EMF is the net work done or the net potential difference in the connected circuit. Means the potential difference across this plus potential difference across this plus potential difference across the battery. Means in this case I can write V1 plus V2 plus this V dash will be equal to EMF. So what is this EMF? Remember, potential difference was the work done. Remember the second chapter where we have learned about potential difference. There I have clearly mentioned that potential difference is nothing but amount of work done to take a charge from one point to another. So if you are adding the potential difference and you are getting the EMF, then obviously EMF is also a kind of work done. Remember that this name is actually very confusing, because in the name you are getting a word force, but actually this EMF is not a force, it is a amount of work done or amount of energy. What energy? The amount of energy needed to take a charge from one point through the circuit. A charge is here, you move the charge from here, here, here and again bring it to the same point. The total amount of work you have to done, that total amount of work done is nothing but EMF. Or you can tell potential difference across each element. You add the potential difference across each element, including the potential difference on the terminal of the battery, you will get the EMF. And remember, the potential difference across the terminal of the battery is known as terminal potential difference. What is this known as? Terminal potential difference. It is known as terminal potential difference. The difference or the potential difference between the terminals of the battery is known as terminal potential difference. Okay, and EMF is this total potential difference. Is it clear? There is another difference is there between potential difference and EMF. What is that? EMF, potential difference, can only be found in a closed circuit or when current is flowing, but EMF can be found in any open circuit also or in a single battery also. If you take simply a battery, okay, if you are taking a battery, it is not connected with any circuit, or it may connect and the circuit is open, the current is not flowing. In that case also you will find the EMF. But in that case, if current is not flowing, the EMF cannot be defined in this way. If the current is not flowing, then the potential difference across the terminal, okay, if there is no current, let me write it here, very important point. If there is no current, okay, in the circuit, or the circuit is open means no current flowing, okay, then the EMF equal to terminal potential difference. Terminal PD means potential difference. Remember this point very carefully. Okay, this is a very important point. See, you cannot find the potential difference across the resistor when there is no current. Means if this is a circuit, okay, a resistor is there, here a battery is connected, but the switch is open, means there is no current. And I am asking you find the potential difference across the resistor. It will be 0 because there is no current flowing. Okay, because V equal to I into R, we know this formula also, V equal to I into R from Ohm's law. So if V equal to I into R and I is 0, obviously V will be equal to 0. So potential difference can only be found when there is a current or the circuit is closed. But when the circuit is open, you cannot find the potential difference. But when the circuit is open, you can find the EMF. Okay, and in that case, because there is no potential difference here, so in this formula also you can use that V1 will be 0, no potential difference across this if it is open. If it is not connected, if it is like this, the circuit is open, in that case, okay, then V1 will be 0, V2 will be 0, and obviously V dash will be equal to EMF. So if the circuit is not closed, the terminal potential difference or the potential difference across the battery is the EMF. I think this point is clear. So now that we are telling about the what was this then, how we are getting these results, from where we have started the topic. This 1.5 volt was the EMF that is written on the battery. And remember the EMF, source of EMF, how this EMF or potential difference is generated, that is not a topic of physics, but you have learned it in chemistry. Let me just remind you. If you are taking some electrolyte here and you are using a electrodes, one anode, one diode, and like that, okay, then the electrolyte will separate in ions. Some positive ions will deposit and some negative ions will deposit here. So this will work as a positive terminal, this will work as a negative terminal, like that. You must have learned it. And this thing, this positive and negative terminal, the deposit of positive charges here and negative charges here is not due to any physical activity or physical equation. It is due to some chemical reaction. Due to some chemical reaction, that electrolyte is splitting in terms of ions, and those are deposited across the terminals. So that is why the EMF is created, or the potential difference is created against the battery. So that is not the scope of physics for now, or not in the syllabus for now, so you leave it. How the EMF is created, that is the part of the chemistry, that how the electrolyte will divide and that will create the potential difference across the open battery also. So now that 1.5 volt you were talking about, that 1.5 volt was actually the what EMF. But when you connect it through a voltmeter, obviously voltmeter must have some potential, must have some resistance. However less or however high it may be, it must have some resistance. So obviously some current will flow through it, and that is why now there will be some potential difference across the voltmeter, and there will be some potential difference across the battery, but that will be not EMF. When it will be EMF? When there is no current. But when the current starts flowing and there will be some potential difference here, then the voltmeter is going to measure the terminal potential difference. This, let the potential difference across the potentiometer or across the voltmeter is V1, and across the terminal of these batteries is V dash. So what is the EMF here? Here that EMF or 1.5 is nothing but the terminal potential difference plus this one. What is this one? This is the potential difference across the voltmeter itself. So now the voltmeter cannot read this 1.5. What it will read? This value, V dash value, that is nothing but this 1.41 or 1.42. If it is clear, it's okay. Otherwise you can remember it like this. On a battery, if it is written 1.5 volt or 10 volt or 12 volt, those are the EMF of the battery. Means that much potential difference the battery is creating across the terminal when there is no current passing through it. Okay, but when the current passes through it, the total EMF is going to be distributed among the elements and among the all the battery also. Like here, V1 plus V2 plus V dash equal to EMF. Okay, so these are the basic differences. I can conclude here 2 lines. Okay, all these thing discussion give you 2 conclusion. First thing, potential difference can be found between any 2 points across a circuit when the circuit is closed or where current is flowing, then only you can find the potential difference. But EMF can be found in a open circuit also and in a closed circuit also. How to measure it in a closed circuit? V1 plus V2 plus V dash equal to EMF. In a closed circuit, if you are measuring the EMF, you have to measure the potential difference across each element and also the potential difference across the terminals of the battery, and you have to add all that, then you can find the value of EMF. But in an open circuit, if you want to find the EMF, then you don't have to measure all this, because in an open circuit, if the current is not flowing, potential difference across it is 0, potential difference across it is 0. So only the terminal potential difference will give you the EMF. So in an open circuit, the terminal potential difference equal to the EMF. Okay, this is a very important concept, although no direct question will come from here, but it is an important concept. And one more thing I want to repeat again, don't confuse with the name. The name is electromotive force, okay, but the name is electromotive force, but it is a confusion. But the electromotive force is not actually a force, it is a amount of work done or amount of energy. But how you can define EMF? It is the amount of work done by the external agent or by the battery to move a charge through the complete circuit. Let it start from here and it moved through the complete circuit. Whatever amount of work is to be done in that case, that is known as the EMF. Okay, so these are all the concepts. Now let us come to the next topic, that is internal resistance of a battery. We have seen that the current has to pass through the battery also. So when it is passing through the battery, or let here, when the current is passing from this terminal to this terminal, because it is positive, it is negative, or when the current is inside the battery, current is passing from the negative to the positive terminal. Inside the battery, remember, outside the battery, current will pass from plus to minus. Inside the battery, current will pass from minus to plus. So this is let minus and this is let plus. So the current has to pass from here to here, minus to plus. Okay. Now when the current is passing, there must be some electrons or some ions or some molecules are there inside the electrolyte. Yes or no? If this is electrolyte, okay, and the current has to pass from one rod to other rod, then while passing through it, it has to cross through many molecules, many ions. Okay, so it is must getting some resistance or not when it is passing. It is not that in the electrolyte there is no molecule or no ions are there. Obviously there are some ions and molecules. So while passing through the battery, the current must getting some resistance, and that resistance is known as internal resistance of a battery. Very simple. The resistance inside the battery, or the resistance the current get or the flow of charge get when it is flowing from one terminal to the other terminal of the battery, that resistance is known as internal resistance of the cell. Now let us come to that topic, and in that topic these expressions, whatever we learn here, we learn that in mathematical expressions. Okay. Internal resistance of a cell. Okay. Now let us understand this. I told internal resistance of a battery is nothing but the resistance offered by the battery or offered inside the battery to the flow of current. Okay. And it is normally symbolized as small r, where external resistance are symbolized as capital R, internal resistance is normally symbolized as small r. Okay. Now how to represent that small r in a battery or in a electric circuit? Let it is an external resistance, and here there is a cell connected here. Okay. So I have to show that internal resistance that is inside the battery, and there are two ways to represent. First thing, you draw a resistance here and you write R here. Okay. This R is not any resistor placed outside. This R is inside the cell, and you may draw a dotted circle here. It represents that this total thing is the battery. There is some EMF provided by here, provided by the battery, and some internal resistance inside the battery. But inside the battery you should not show it, you show it like this. Or there is the other way which I normally prefer is this. Many books also use this, is this. You draw it like this. Here it is the EMF and here it is the small r. Remember here, again this small r is not outside the battery. It is inside the battery, but you are just showing it outside the cell, so that the calculations of calculations in the electric circuit will be easier. We will understand how the calculation will be easier, that we will understand in the while we will do the numerical. But here these are the ways to represent the internal resistance. Okay. Now let us try to write the expressions for internal resistance, EMF, terminal potential difference, and all that. What we learn in the last part? We learn that EMF equal to amount of work done to take the charge from positive to here. Okay, or take the current, you can read it as take the current to here to here. Okay, here plus here to here. So I can write it like this: EMF equal to, I can write amount of work done to take a unit positive charge from positive to negative terminal of the battery through the external resistance. Okay, plus what is EMF? I have explained. You take a unit positive charge from this point to again to this point. Now what I have written? It is amount of work done to take the charge from here, from the positive to the negative terminal through the external resistor. But again you have to take it from here to here, okay, or from here to here. If you are assuming that this total is a cell, then this part I have written is to take the unit positive charge from here to here. Again plus you have to do to take the unit positive charge from this point to this point. Okay, so here again I can write it as amount of work done to take a unit positive charge from negative to positive terminal of the battery through the internal resistance, that is small r. So this is one part plus this is one part. This total part you add, you will get the total EMF. Now this part, what is this known as? Normally V. We are normally going to write it as V. Okay, amount the potential difference across the external resistance. What we are going to write is V plus this part, amount of work done to take it from here to here is nothing but V dash. So I can write EMF equal to V plus V dash, where V is external potential difference, and V dash is terminal potential difference. Okay, very clear this part. This we have learned in the last part, and just I have written it in terms of some mathematical form. But again we know from Ohm's law that V equal to IR. Okay, we know from Ohm's law that V equal to I into R. So here I can write V equal to, let the current I is flowing here. Let a current of I is flowing. Now since a current of I is flowing, then obviously V will be equal to I into external resistor IR, plus here current is flowing from here to here, same current because they are in series. So current will be same throughout the circuit. So from here to here, so the current is again I, but the resistance here is smaller. Current into resistance. If it is the current is flowing through the external resistor, as you have mentioned here, through the external resistor R, it will be I into capital R, plus this part, current passing through the internal resistance smaller. So internal resistance means current into smaller. So this is one expression. From here, if I will, this also you have to remember, there are many forms of this expression. I am just writing all the form and you have to remember all the forms. This is one expression. This also you can remember as an expression, E equal to V plus V dash, where V is the external potential difference and V dash is the terminal potential difference or potential difference across the battery. So I can write it like this. If I arrange it somewhat, then I can get the expression of I also, because from here I can write E equal to I whole into R plus R, or I can write I equal to E divided by R plus R. So this is an expression of current also, I equal to E divided by R plus R. Okay, let us write it in some other form. From here I can write this as E equal to V plus IR. Let the V is V itself and plus IR. Okay, or I can write it as E minus V equal to IR, or I can write it as R equal to E minus V by I. This is also a form of the same expression. We are just writing it in different form. Okay, R equal to E minus V by I, or I can also write it as I can write it this expression as, okay, from this expression, or let this expression I can write it as V expression as V equal to E minus IR, V equal to E minus IR. So this expression also I can write. So like that many expression you can form actually. Okay, and other formula also I can write. Like if you write in this form, from here I am just writing it here. you can write it like R equal to E minus V is nothing but I into R, and I is nothing but V by R. Like this also I can write. Okay. So from here, or let it be V itself, I can write, let it be V. E minus V, in place of I can write V by R. So in this expression, again if I arrange it, I can write it as E minus V by V into this R will go to the numerator. So this is also another form. So the same expression, this is the basic equation, or this is the expression. From these expression you can write many form of the same equation. It is the expression of EMF, this is the expression of current, this is the expression of external potential difference, this is the these are the expressions of internal resistance, and like that. Which expression you have to remember? Actually this much expression you don't have to remember. You can remember the definition of EMF, that EMF is nothing but external potential difference plus terminal potential difference, and also you have to remember that external potential difference is nothing but I into R, and terminal potential difference is nothing but I into small r, where R is external resistance and R is small resistance. You only remember these two, and all other you can derive. And sometimes this expression is also used, this expression actually used in many circuits, so you may remember this one also. So this one, and this one, these three are important, you should remember it directly, and all other wherever necessary, however way it may be necessary, you can use that. Okay. Now a question is, sir, till now you were writing, sir, here V battery whenever you are drawing. Okay, in the previous till today, whenever we are drawing a circuit, okay, here you are writing R and here we are writing V. Now you suddenly start writing, sir, here EMF. How is it possible? And where if battery has a EMF and that is different than potential difference, then why from till today we have not known about that EMF? Whether it is not of that much important? Yes, it is not of that much important. Why? Because see, this internal resistance should be very small, because what is the function of a battery in a circuit? To flow the current in the circuit, yes or no? So if you will use, if this small r will be large, then what will happen? More energy will be lost here inside the battery itself. The battery has some energy using which it can flow the charge, through the circuit. But if it uses more energy in flowing the charge inside the battery itself, then what is the use of a battery? So the battery should be manufactured or should be in such a way that the internal resistance should be very small, so that more of the energy will be used to flow the charge in the external resistor. Remember, the battery has, this is the important work of the battery, to flow the current or the charge through the external resistor. This was not necessary or not wanted. It came unnecessary and it cannot be avoided. That is why it is there. However battery you may manufacture, there must be a very small amount of R. You cannot make it zero, completely zero. Okay. So this is the actually work of a battery, and this is some unwanted thing. Like you are moving a vehicle, you will never want that a friction will be there, but can you make your friction zero? No, there must be a friction. So the engine has to use some energy to surpass that friction also. It does not mean that the friction, if the friction is very high, then obviously most of the energy provided by the engine will be lost in getting away from that friction itself. How the vehicle will move forward in a faster way? So exactly same thing. Okay, this is not wanted, but it is there, we cannot avoid. That is the thing. Now the next part. Now why we are then writing V and how EMF? Because I have already told that R is very small. Now you check this expression. In this expression you can check V equal to E minus IR. If r is very small, okay, or r is made very small, tends to 0, then obviously this IR will be tends to 0. If r tends to 0, IR tends to 0, and V will be equal to E. That is why we are writing actually here V till now, because we did not know about internal resistance. Okay, and it has not that much significance in an electric circuit. In many cases we are ignoring this internal resistance because this internal resistance has a very small value, and if R tends to 0 or R has a very small value, then obviously the IR will have a very small value and this V will be nearly equal to E. That is why we are till now writing the V equal to E, and when these two will be equal, when there will be no internal resistance. I think this part will be clear and you have to remember all these formulas. Now let us come to some graphical representation of these formulas. Whatever we will learn, how to represent that graphically and how to understand it. Okay. So this is our next topic. We have to draw three graphs: EMF versus R, V versus R, V is external potential versus R, external resistor, and V versus I. Remember, we are not drawing it for any conductor or for any external resistor, something like that. We are drawing it for a cell or battery. So don't tell that sir V versus I graph will be a straight line according to Ohm's law. No, as we know, V versus I graph will be a straight line only in case of metal, and we are not drawing it for a metal or for a external resistor or something like that. We are drawing it for a battery. So inside the battery, how this V and I varies. Inside the battery, how this V and R varies. So for a battery, we are drawing all this graph. Okay. First thing, EMF versus R. If you understood the previous thing and if you understood the definition of EMF, I have told you that EMF does not depend upon any external circuit. EMF is always fixed. The EMF of a battery is 1.5 volt of a pencil battery. That is 1.5 volt always. You may connect a resistor of, you may connect a small bulb, you may connect a bigger bulb, you may connect any LED bulb, it does not matter. EMF will not change. The terminal potential will change, but EMF will always be a constant, because EMF defined as the terminal potential difference when there is no external current or when the circuit is open. So very clearly EMF and R are independent of each other. However current you may use, whatever resistor you may use, EMF is not going to change. So obviously if they are independent, and if they are independent, let across this direction I am taking R and this direction I am taking EMF, sorry, EMF is a scalar, EMF along this direction if I am taking, then they are independent, means whatever the value of R you may increase, the EMF is going to be a constant. Okay. So you take a battery, whatever you connect, the terminal potential difference will change accordingly, according to the external resistor, but not the EMF. So that is why this graph. Now let us draw the next graph, V versus R graph. Okay. So how to draw V versus R? First let us write the expression how the V and capital R changes. As we know from the last expressions, I can write it like this: V will be equal to I into R. Okay, but this I expression we have derived previously. Okay, you can check the just previous part we have derived, and that I is nothing but EMF divided by capital R plus small r. Just before 5 minutes we have derived it, so I have used it here. Then I can write it, I can rearrange it, and I can write, let it is okay, I am writing it like this: E divided by R plus R divided by R. Like this I can write. This R is in numerator, I am taking it to the denominator. Now I can write it is V equal to E divided by, here it is 1 plus R by R. Okay. So this is somewhat I have found the relation between V and R. Let us check how I found the relation. if in this case if r equal to 0, okay, if r equal to 0 or r tends to 0, if r tends to 0, then obviously this term will be infinite. R by 0, something by 0 will be infinite. If this is infinite, this is the total denominator will be infinite. If the total denominator is infinite, v will be tends to 0. So if r tends to 0, v also will tends to 0. Now let this r tends to small r or r equal to small r. Let for at some value let r equal to small r. Then what will happen? This will be small r. So r by r, it will be 1, 1 plus 1, it will be 2. So VMF V will be equal to E by 2. Similarly, let r tends to infinite. If r tends to infinite, r small r divided by infinite, it will be 0. So V will be equal to E. So use these values and draw a graph. If you use these three values, then let us draw the first the graph or the axis. Along this axis, let I am taking V, and along this axis, let I am taking R. Okay. So at r equal to 0, V equal to 0. R equal to 0, V equal to 0 means this point. At r equal to small r, at this point, let r equal to small r. So at that point, V will be equal to E by 2. Let this is V where the value is E by 2. So this is the point. Okay. And another point is when r equal to infinite, then V equal to E. If this is E by 2 I am writing, then this must be E. Exactly the twice. If it is E by 2, then it will be again E by 2. Same distance, or it will be E. So at E, when the V will be equal to E, when R will be infinite, means obviously your graph will come like this and it will become parallel, because the R will be equal to E, the V will be equal to E only while R will be infinite. So it will be parallel, they will meet at infinite. So these 2 points you join and this you join, you will get the graph. This is the V versus R graph from the expression we have derived. Okay. Now let us come to the last graph, that is V versus I graph. How to find the V versus I graph? Again let us write the expression. Okay, from the expression only you can write. I have written an expression there that V equal to E minus I into R. Okay, in the last part I have written it, you can check it there. V equal to E minus IR. Now let us rearrange it in like this. V equal to minus R into I plus E. Why I have written it like this? Because when in a circuit a current flowing, neither the internal resistance is going to change, neither the EMF is going to change. Remember, the EMF is fixed and the internal resistance is also fixed. These 2 points, these 2 parameters are fixed when we are manufacturing a battery. So this smaller internal resistance is fixed and EMF is fixed. Now you can see this is nothing but V equal to minus mx plus c. Y equal to minus mx plus c, a straight line graph, but the slope is negative. So how the graph should come? What is the intercept? Is c. Okay. So obviously the graph should start. If you will draw the graph from V versus I, let here in this direction you are taking V, this direction you are taking I, then obviously the intercept will be how much? C. C means this E is the intercept, so it will start from here and the slope will be minus R and it is a straight line graph. So obviously the graph will be like this and the slope will be equal to minus R. Okay, it is minus, that is why the straight line is a declined graph. It is decreasing towards this direction. Okay, so these are the graphs you have to remember all this graph. If you have understood the derivations and the reason of explanation, then it's okay. If you have not understood, then also you have to remember the shape of the graphs. Okay, and don't just remember the shape. Like these points you have to remember. These are some special points. When r equal to small r, v equal to e by 2. And here also you have to take care. Some students are going to make it like this. It will not like this. It will be parallel with EMF. So draw a dotted line and make them parallel. Similarly, here you write the intercept, write the slope. All these points you have to write. If you understood this explanation, then it's okay. If you have not understood, then forget that and remember these graphs. Okay. Now let us come to the numerical part. Let us solve some numerical to understand all the concept that we learned. Let us come to the question number 1. Here it is asked, it is given that the EMF of a cell is 2 volt. EMF of the cell is 2 volt. I have given all the questions in the description. You can go and download from there. Okay. Internal resistance is given as 0.1 ohm. External resistance is given as 3.9 ohm. And it is asked what is the potential difference across the terminal of the cell. Okay, so it is like this. No need to draw the diagram here, just for your knowledge I am drawing it. It is EMF equal to 2 volt. This internal resistance is 0.1 ohm. External resistance is 3.9 ohm. This is capital R. Okay, and this is the cell. So it is asked what is the potential difference across the terminal of the cell. So what is asked here? V. So how to find V? V is nothing but I into R. But first I have to find the expression of I. How to find expression of I? Remember the general formula, V will be equal to V plus V dash. So it was V equal to IR plus I into small r. So it was E equal to I whole into R plus R, or it is I equal to EMF divided by R plus R. So now use this here. So V will be equal to I means EMF divided by R plus R whole into capital R. Now everything is given to us. EMF is 2, R was 3.9 plus it is 0.1 into 3.9. So 2, this is 4, so it will be 2, so answer will be 3.9 divided by 2, or imply that V equal to 1.95 volt. So this is the answer. This is the potential difference across the terminals of the battery, or this is the potential difference that is actually sending the current through the resistor. Okay. So what happened to the other, see it is 2 volt was the EMF. Okay, understand the concept. 2 volt was the EMF, but actually we can use this much only, this much potential only. This much potential can only send the current through the external resistor, and the remaining potential, that is 0.05 volt, that 0.05 volt will be used to pass the current from here to here, from this through this resistance of 0.1 ohm. Okay, so that is the difference. So remember that whenever you are finding that a battery is of 2 volt, be sure that the total 2 volt you cannot use. There will be some energy, some potential difference that will be, or a part of the EMF that will be used to pass the current through the battery itself. So I can tell that that is some kind of loss. We did not want to lose our current, lose our EMF to pass through it, but we cannot avoid that also, because there must be some internal resistance R. Okay, so that is the concept. Now let us come to the next question. What is given here? There is a voltmeter is there, okay, which has a resistance of 998 ohm. It is connected to a cell of EMF 2 volt and internal resistance 2 ohm. So there is a cell which has a EMF of 2 volt and has an internal resistance. You can show it here also. So internal resistance of 2 ohm, and a voltmeter is connected with it. This voltmeter has a resistance of 998 ohm. Okay, So I can assume that this is an external resistor, that is why R equal to I have written. Now the question is, find the potential difference across the voltmeter, that across the terminals of the cell, and percentage error in the reading of the voltmeter. Okay, the question is, find the potential difference across the voltmeter, and whatever potential difference will be there across the voltmeter, obviously the same potential difference will be there across the battery. So that is what it is given in the first question. Find the potential difference across the voltmeter or across the battery. And the next part is, find the percentage error in the reading of the voltmeter. Let us first solve, then we will understand what is the, why we are telling about the error here. What is the error? So again, it is asked about V, the same question we have just done before. So first find V equal to I into R, but I will be equal to EMF divided by R plus R into capital R. Follow the first question, you will get this equation. So EMF is 2, here it is 998 plus 2 into 998, or 2 by 1000 into 998. So it will be 998 into 2 by 1000, or 1 by 500. So if this is 500, so if you solve it, you will get it as 1.996 volt. You can solve it. Okay, you will get this answer, 1.996 volt. Now this is the V. V means the potential difference across the terminals of the battery, or potential difference across the voltmeter. So how much the voltmeter will show you the reading, this reading, because it is finding that the potential difference is this much across itself. So it will show you this much reading. But what is the actual EMF was 2 volt. So that is why from that this is the topic from where we have started, that you take a pencil battery and use a voltmeter, it can never show you 1.5. Although the EMF is 1.5, it can never show you 1.5. Why? Because this is the reason. EMF is 2 here, but what is the potential difference across the voltmeter? 1.996 means the voltmeter will show you that the this potential difference 1.996. Why this? Because that the remaining 2 minus 1.996, that is 0.004 volt, this much potential is being used to pass the current through the battery, and that cannot be measured by the voltmeter, external voltmeter. Is it clear? So what is the error here? Error, how to find the error? Means the original, what is the difference? 2 minus 1.996 divided by the original value into 100. That is how you are going to measure the percentage error. Difference divided by the original value into 100. So this will be 0.004 divided by 2 into 100, or it will be 0.4 by 2, or 0.2%. So that is the percentage error. And remember, here nothing is wrong. Neither the voltmeter is wrong, neither the battery is 2 volt is wrong, nothing is wrong. But the problem is, while passing the current, there must be some current which will be lost to pass the current through the battery itself, and that cannot be measured by any voltmeter you take, any voltmeter. If the voltmeter resistance will tends to infinite, then only the EMF will be equal to V. How I am telling that? See here, this expression V equal to this much. Okay, in this expression you can see, okay, that we have proved also previously. I am not going to use your time here. Remember that when R will be equal to infinite, just while we draw the graph, we have seen, while we have drawn the graph of V versus R, okay, we have got this kind of a graph where this was your EMF, and where R tends to infinite, then only EMF will be equal to V. Means if the resistance of the voltmeter is infinite, then only you can get the reading as 2 volt in the voltmeter, but that is not possible. Infinite resistance is not possible. But this is also a reason why the resistance of the voltmeter is kept high. If the resistance of the voltmeter is high, then the error will be less here. You can take it. You can take it as 9.999 ohm, and you will find there will be less error in this reading. Okay. Now let us come to the next question. There is a circuit given. Here there is a ammeter is connected, a cell is there, a voltmeter is connected, a resistor is there, and a key is there. Key is on here. Okay. The question is, the voltmeter reads 1.5 volt when the key is open. Okay, what is the question? When the key is open, means there is no current in the circuit. Key open means when I equal to 0, the voltmeter reads how much? 1.5 volt. And from here, I can define that what is this 1.5 volt is nothing but EMF. Because as we know that when there is no key or there is no current passing through the circuit, then the reading in the voltmeter, then the voltage must be equal to the EMF. When there is no current, when this is off, there is no current through the circuit, and when there is no current or no external resistor in the circuit or no current flowing through the circuit, then V will be equal to EMF. So this value is nothing but the EMF, because there is no current passing through. Next question is, when the key is closed now. Okay, the next part given is when the key is closed, the current reading shows, the ammeter shows 1.5 ampere. Ammeter shows means it is current 1.5 ampere, and V is 1.35 volt. Now you see, now the voltmeter will not show you 1.5, because now current is passing through. If current is passing through, then obviously the voltmeter will not show you the total EMF. It will show you the potential difference across the battery, that is 1.35 volt here. Is it clear? So what is the question asked here? Find the EMF and the internal resistance of the cell. So the question is, what is the internal resistance of the cell and what is the EMF? What is the EMF? What is the EMF? Okay, EMF is already we found. So this is the first bit. EMF equal to 1.5 volt. Only the next bit is what is the value of R? What is the value of internal resistance? Okay. So EMF itself is directly given, indirectly given. We have to just understand that it is EMF given. It is not directly showing, telling you that it is the EMF, but it is telling when there is no current, the voltmeter is showing 1.5 volt. It means the current is, the EMF is 1.5 volt. Now internal resistance, very simple. If you remember the formula, internal resistance formula, if you directly remember, you can use, or let me write it, the internal resistance formula. It was V plus V dash, or I can write E equal to V plus I into R. Okay, or I can write E minus V equal to IR, or I can write R equal to E minus V by I. If you remember this formula directly, you can directly write this expression, or I can write R will be equal to E value is 1.5, V value is 1.35, and I value is 1.5. So use this value and you can find the answer. Just you calculate, you will get is at 0.1 ohm. So that is the internal resistance of the battery. Okay, voltmeter is given and the circuit is given like this. There is a cell here. The question is, when a reading on a high resistance voltmeter, when a cell is connected across it, is 2.2 volt. Okay, when the cell is only, if the only cell is connected across it, then the reading you are getting is 2.2 volt. So as in the previous question I have explained, here nothing but EMF is given as 2.2 volt. 2.2 volt, because there is no external resistance is there. So when you are just connecting a voltmeter with the battery, okay, then you will get 2.2 volt, means the EMF is 2.2 volt. Now it is, that is why, see here this voltmeter is a ideal voltmeter. You can again tell, sir, in the first question we have told that the voltmeter will show the wrong reading. Now you are telling that the EMF is 2.2 volt. How it is possible? because just read the question, it is given that it is a high resistance voltmeter, means you have to assume that the resistance of the voltmeter is infinite here, it or tends to infinite here, high resistance voltmeter. And I have also explained that when resistance tends to infinite for the voltmeter, it will show you the exact reading of the EMF. Okay, that is why we are taking it as the EMF reading as 2.2 volt. Now what is the next thing? When the terminals of the cell are also connected to a resistance of 5 ohm. Okay, now this is also connected to a resistance of 5 ohm. Then the voltmeter reading drops to 1.8 volt. So R is given as 5 ohm, and when R equal to 5 ohm, then V is equal to 1.8 volt. So everything is given. What is the asked? Internal resistance. So again, E is given, R is given, V is given. You have to find the internal resistance. Use the same question, but you have different data here. There you are having current I and other thing. Here you have just the different data. So how to find R here? Again, if you can remember, we have written expression of R, that is nothing but R whole into E minus V by V. Okay, if you remember this, then it's okay. If you have not remembering this, then you can start from here. We know that EMF equal to V plus V dash, or I can write EMF equal to V plus IR, or I know I can write it as R equal to E minus V by I. Then again this I can write it as V by R. Okay, then you can take this R to the numerator and you can write it as E minus V by V into R. This is if you don't know or if you don't remember this formula, then you can derive it like this. Now everything is given, put it and find the answer. Capital R is 5, EMF is 2.2, V is 1.8 and V is again 1.8. Solve it and you will find the internal resistance value as 1.1. Okay, so these all are same type of question, only different expressions of small r or V or E we are going to use. Okay, now let us come to the next question, question number 5. EMF 3 volt and internal resistance small r is connected in series with a resistor of 55 ohm through an emitter of resistance 1 ohm. An emitter reads 50 milliampere. Draw the circuit diagram and calculate the value of R. So what is given here? A battery is there which is having a EMF of 3 volt. Let I am drawing the internal resistance also here. Okay, this is small r. Its value is not given actually. It is actually asked what is the value of small r. EMF is given as 3 volt. It is connected in series with a resistor of 55 ohm through an ammeter of resistance 1 ohm. So it is connected with another resistor and an ammeter, where this resistor has an external resistance of 55 ohm and this ammeter also has some resistance. Let it as it is some R1 and it is R2 I am taking as 1 ohm. This ammeter reads the current as 50 milliampere. Okay, so if the current is 50 ammeter reads 50 milliampere, means the current is 50 milliampere or 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 ampere. Okay, draw the circuit diagram that we have already drawn and calculate the value of R. So every data are given, I think just you have to put it in proper way. What is the value of net resistance here? What is the value of net resistance? See, this is a small r, this is an external resistance, this is a resistor, that is the total resistance. You can directly use the expression also, V equal V equal to IR formula. So, but here what is the net potential difference is 3, or EMF I am telling, EMF is 3. Okay, so E will be equal to, you can write it like this. See, let me write the general expression first. EMF will be equal to, as I have told, potential difference across this, that is V dash, potential across this, let it is V1, potential difference across this, let it is V2. So I can write V dash is nothing but I into R small r, V1 is nothing but I into R1, V2 is nothing but I into R2. Okay, that is the value of EMF. So I can write here E by I equal to, here you take a I and you take it and divide it along this side, R plus R1 plus R2. This is also a formula. Now use all the data here and you can find the value of small r. So E by I means it is 3 by 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 equal to small r plus 55 plus 1. Calculations you can complete. Now let us come to the next question, question number 6. So there is a graph given actually, okay. The graph is between V and I, okay. Graph is given between V and I, okay, and the datas are something like this: 0.04, then it is 0.12, then 0.2 like this, and another one is 0.28. This is 0. And along this side the data were 0.4, 0.8, then 1.2 like this, and the points are 1.2, 0.4, this is a point, then 0.8 and 1.12, this is a point, and this is a point, and the graph is given like this. Okay, it is ended at 0.28 actually. You can draw, you can see the graph, exact graph. And the questions are, from this graph, the questions asked are, first is EMF of the cell. Okay, what is EMF of the cell? When I equal to 0, EMF, how to find EMF? EMF is nothing but V when I equal to 0, when there is no current, EMF equal to the external potential. So what is this? When I equal to 0, this is I equal to 0. So at I equal to 0, value of V. So you have to take this graph towards this side and you will get the value here. You can check the graph that this point you will get, will be around 1.4. Okay, you can find that this point will be 1.4. So EMF is nothing but 1.4. Is it clear how you found? Value of I equal to 0. This is I equal to 0 point. At the I equal to 0, the EMF is nothing but the value of V. So what is the value of V? You just take this graph and you will meet at 1.4. So EMF equal to 1.4 volt. Okay. Second bit, maximum current obtained from the cell. How to find the maximum current? The maximum current is drawn when the terminal potential difference is 0, when there is no external resistance, yes or no? So when there is no external resistance, or when I can write when the V equal to 0, when V equal to 0, then I will be equal to maximum or I maximum. How? Let me just write the expressions in support of this line. What is that? I expression is nothing but EMF divided by R plus R. And remember, if there is a battery, neither you can make EMF as 0, neither you can make R as 0. So these two are not 0. So obviously, when R equal to 0, then only I will be equal. When R is minimum, I will be maximum. Now when R is minimum, obviously we know that V equal to IR. So when R is minimum, obviously V will be minimum. Okay. So in the other way I can tell R can be 0. So when R can be 0, I can be maximum. And when R can be 0, when V can be 0, R can be 0. Or when R can be 0, V will be 0. Like that also I can tell. So if I am telling V equal to 0, then obviously R equal to 0. Now when R equal to 0, then I will be maximum. That is why I have written V equal to 0, I will be I maximum. Now what is the V equal to 0 point? Again this point V equal to 0. So at V equal to 0, what is the value of I? So at V equal to 0, this point, at this is the point at which V will become 0. Okay, this is the point where V is 0. So V is 0 and I will be 0.28. So I max will be equal to 0.28 ampere. Now let us come to the third bit. Third bit is asked internal resistance of the cell. How to find the internal resistance? Internal resistance, I can just write the, remember this expression, R will be equal to EMF divided by I maximum. I can tell you how. Okay, so EMF here is 1.4 and this is 0.28. So the answer will be 5 ohm. Now let me tell what is the supporting equation for this statement, that R equal to EMF by I max. How I can tell that? What is I max when R equal to 0? The same expression you can see. If you put R equal to 0, if I know I equal to E by R plus R, and when R tends to 0, I is maximum. Just now I proved. Okay, so I maximum can be written as E divided by small r. Very simple. So small r will be equal to how much? Small r will be equal to E divided by I max. That is why we have used here. Is it clear? Remember that whenever resistance will decrease, current will increase. But you cannot change the internal resistance of a battery. Battery once manufactured, you cannot change the internal resistance. So you can change the external resistance. Make the external resistance 0, or it means do not connect any external resistance at all. So when you are not going to connect any external resistance, obviously this part will be minimum and I will be maximum. So when R will be minimum or 0, I will be maximum. So I max equal to E divided by R, or R equal to E divided by I max. Okay, these are the supporting equations to write this. Otherwise these answers are very correct if you understood this. Okay, very easy if you understood all this. Now let us come to the, okay, here the 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th question. Those are very easy and very similar questions as we have discussed in the from 1 to 6, and you have to solve them by your own. This is your assignment. You have to solve them for better practice. Okay, so for today this is all. Be safe and study well.